Hey there, everybody! Welcome to another Toonkind FPS. My name is Kermit the Frog, and today we will be playing Miss Piggy. With me today is a wonderful, beautiful, handsome, gorgeous, lovely, not quite stranger. Would you like to introduce yourself for me?
Yes, hi, I'm Arrows. I'm gonna be playing Hickory Clove, local, flower shop owner, roommate of Nebula Rose, yes.
And unfortunately, I'm really sorry to disappoint everyone. I am not Kermit the Frog. I'm really sorry. We couldn't get him. His schedule was super tight. He's a busy guy. He's like, he's pretty famous. We can't get a guy that famous into one of our games. Oh man, if we could, that'd be amazing. But no, unfortunately, I'm not Kermit.
Oh my goodness,
I'm
crying.
D.W.P, Dupe Kieran, or Dew. I've been called Dew a couple times. That's a nice one. I might stick with it a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to be playing Lao Vis Blind and their funky little plant friend Sol. Is going to be a time. It's going to be a fun time. We're going to have some fun. So, I think we should start this off with Hey Arrows. Hey Arrows. Where is Hickory? And what are they doing right now?
Oh man, sorry, I'm still recovering from your Kermit the Frog impression.
I'm glad that smacked
You
you
made-
down. Look.
You made me tear up with laughter.
Oh, good. I've done my job.
Okay, Hickory. Hickory right now, they're probably just like tending to the shop, checking to see how the flowers are doing, deheading any of the dead flowers, just kind of making yeah, what's the word? Watering is the word. Watering the ones that need watering. Probably putting some fertilizer in. Yeah, just doing everyday flower shop stuff, which I do not know what that is because I do not own a flower shop and have never been in one before. So
that is fair and valid. That also means you get to make up what this place looks like. This place looks like whatever you want it to look like right now, Arrows. Like the flowers could be against the wall, they could be from the ceiling, they could be coming up straight from the ground. I do not know. This is your shop, dude. Like what do you think? What do you think Hickory would lay this stuff out? How do you think he would sort this stuff?
you know what? I think it's going to be all three.
All three.
I think there's going to be displays. Display. Well, okay. There's going to be displays on the ground up against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to be some hanging plants from the ceiling. How about that?
Yeah. I know I said like they just have stuff on the floor. I just imagine there's like an open patch of dirt in the floor and there's a whole lot of squash sprouting out of it.
I do know that there is some outside displays.
Okay.
I might as well. I mean, I put it in the last FPS, but I might as well put it in here too. The picture that Ike drew of it for the Pride collab, because that's the only picture I have of it. Where is that? Once I find it.
That's okay. Take your time, dude. Whilst you're looking for that, I'm gonna say whilst Hickory is doing that stuff.
Wait.
Oh, okay.
I got it.
Got it. Yeah.
So that's what it looks like on the outside. It's kind of tall cylindrical building. The first half is the actual flower shop. The second half is where they live. We've got the little display of flowers outside.
It's really cute.
Most of the flowers, both there and on the inside, are like your normal kind of flowers that you'd find in a flower shop in like our world.
Yeah.
And then there's a section on display that has these flowers that are all like, okay. Most of them are like, most of the flowers in the shop are either like the kind of flowers that we have, or the kind of flowers in general that like toonie flowers.
Yeah.
Because those can vary widely.
Yes.
And then there's a section.
Got like singing kinds, you've got animated kinds, you've
Yes.
got kinds that tend to be
Yes.
flowers, and then maybe aren't actually real flowers. They could be something else, but you don't know. Worry about it. Got the mundane and the magical, all sorts.
Yes. Yeah, and then there's a section where that they have colored it magically, so they're like these metallic colored flowers, shimmery, transparent, certain patterns. And then they've got another section that's like, well, okay, they've got a section along the wall that's just like packets of seeds.
Ooh.
And then there is another section that only has like a few flowers in it, like 5 different kinds, and there's only like a couple of each. And those are the flowers that have been enchanted with certain spells.
Ooh. Like a limited stock kind of thing. So they come in and
because enchanting is hard and it takes time. It takes like a couple days.
Yeah, man.
Like yeah. So there's limited stock of them. Yeah. Should I like say what enchanted flowers are up there today?
Not yet.
No.
Let's leave that to a little later, maybe. let's leave that for a little later, maybe. We'll get to them.
Okay.
We will get to them. Trust me.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
So we'll say that Hickory is cleaning up the shop. They're heading the dead flowers, and they're giving it some water, some fertilizer, checking everything's in the right place, making sure it's all clean and nice and nifty. And you hear perhaps from outside, you hear something moving along outside of your shop, and actually, does your shop have? Oh, it doesn't have a door, so you wouldn't hear them come through, or you wouldn't hear like a bell chime or anything. But you hear a couple of people in your shop.
I was gonna say, unless there's like just a bell hanging that customers can ring if they want to.
Oh, it's like an automatic one. Like, you
get
the sliding doors. You get sliding doors that have a chime, like the ding ding, except it's just a bell that hangs over the door that's been enchanted. So it just announces when a customer comes in.
Yeah, that works.
That's cool. Yeah, let's go with that. That's the thing now. All convenience stores have these. Yeah. You're basically like cleaning up the shop, and you hear a little cling of the bell above the door as two tunes come in. And if he's going to look up, he'll see a toon in a wheelchair, muttering under his breath at a very, very large plant. Definitely a big plant. Big old plant. Actually, you know what? Before I even do that, I gotta roll something. I have to roll something because hey, this plant is very big.
Oh boy!
And you told me this shop isn't very large. It's actually it's a decent size for a toon. Because toons average about 4 feet tall, a little bit higher sometimes. This thing is very big. This thing is like, it's the size of a large warhorse. That's how big this thing is. And
boy.
Squeezing it in a small of a space, I'm gonna probably have to roll. Straight X. Let's do a straight X save.
Boy.
Oh boy. I mean, it might go okay. It might go okay.
It might go okay.
It's okay. That's a 12. So you see this smaller toon come in, who is a bird in a wheelchair. They are just outline. They don't have any details or anything on them. They're just an outline of a bird, and they have a very sort of put upon expression on their face, and they have a nice Afghan blanket covering their legs, and they come in, and then and then behind them, you see a tune. You see this very big plant tune, and it peers its head in, and it's got a very, very large sunflower head. It's very big, and it looks in the doorway, and it looks up at the bell, and it looks back in the doorway, and it squeezes itself in. It puts its two front feet, which are very long and rooted, like they're big root feet at the end, and it sticks its long neck in with its head, and it does like a cat slink to get in, so it sort of bends its front body and then the bottom, and then it pushes up with the back legs, and you
Oh boy.
yeah, you hear a little as its tail comes in. It's come in, but it was a bit of a squeeze. And yeah, you've got these two tunes now in your shop. The bird in the wheelchair is patiently waiting by the door for this other creature to come in. What does Hickory do with these two new encounters?
Oh man. So Hickory looks up when the bell chimes, and he like so okay. When it's Lao, is that how you pronounce?
Yeah, Lao. That would be the name.
Lao, yeah. So when Lao comes in, Hickory just like perks up, and she's just like, "Hello," and like welcomes Lao to the shop, and then they see the giant plant tune, and it's just like, oh no.
First thought, oh no. First thought, very big.
This thing could barely fit in the door. Let's hope that it can navigate well, because oh boy, things are going to be, at least a few things are going to be knocked around. So I think he's probably going to be like probably after welcoming them in, he's probably just gonna like be doing his thing of like tending to the flowers, but like secretly, or like trying to be subtly nearby to like if anything does fall down, to try and catch it.
Okay. So
because he already knows that this looks like it's gonna be some trouble.
This looks like trouble.
Navigating through
you immediately pegged the one that's going to be trouble. Did you want to roll a quick perception for me?
All right.
You see this tune has waited for the giant plant thing come in, and he's waited by the door, and he's muttering.
That's an 8.
An 8. So no, you don't hear anything. You can see he's mumbling something to this thing, but you don't know what. It doesn't matter. So as this bird's finished talking this very large plant tune, it spots you over the way, and it says, excuse me, would you happen to be the shopkeeper of this particular establishment?
Oh yeah, yeah, I am.
Splendid. He claps his hand feathers together, and he rolls up to you, and he says, I've recently found that I've myself in need for a restock in very particular kinds of plants, and he's going to roll this. Yeah, he rolls a 3. Okay, so yeah, he reaches under his blanket, and he pulls out a list of flowers, and he hands them over. To Hickory, and he says, "If you would happen to have any of these in stock, if you'd be able to check your stock and let me know, I'd be very grateful." And give me a second. I'm just going to type out the list he has given you. I should have done this earlier. There we go. So yeah, he's got that list. I'll put it in the roll zone. Those flowers for the audience. The flowers that Lao has, all the flower seeds he's requested, were dandelions, daisies, rosemary, fennel, and white poppy. And yes, I know 2 of those are technically not flowers; they are in fact herbs. But shush, shush. They're plants. It counts.
I mean, hey.
Hey.
I mean, they probably have some herbs.
Exactly. Why not?
And like, I know, I don't know much about the others, but I know sage at least has really pretty flowers.
Yeah, they bloom really nice and pretty.
So Hickory looks over the list and is like, just like, oh, of course. And they start like looking through. What did you roll?
Don't worry.
Are these? Oh wait, are these rolls?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Continue on for me.
So they're going through looking through for these specific flowers. I'm like I'm just like, sorry, my eyes are focused on dandelions, and I'm thinking of like them in a very toony way, where like the heads are like heads of lions with like top hats on them.
Oh my gosh! Do you want to roll to see if Hickory figures out if it's normal dandelions or toon dandelions?
Okay. All right. Would that be insight or intelligence? Wait.
Because you're trying to figure out what kind this guy wants. I would say insights, because he hasn't told
insight.
you.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh boy. That is plus an exclamation mark. So that'd be an 18 because I accidentally pressed exclamation mark instead of 1.
That's fine. So yeah, well, I would take that. So you look at this list, and then you look at this guy, and you look at the list, and you don't think anything else on the list is. I mean, apart from daisies, which you can sometimes get as an animated flower or a tomb flower, but sometimes these particular, like sometimes when you animate a daisy, they tend to run away, and you don't think this guy don't really want a flower, considering. But so you're gonna go ahead and assume from the looks of this guy that we're gonna assume that, unless otherwise stated, you think these are just like normal plants, not magical or anything. They're just like, basic run of the mill, real kind based plants that this guy wants.
Okay. All right.
Also, hey, do you want to roll me a quick perception?
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Well, you're doing that. Oh!
That's a 6.
Okay.
Hickory notices nothing.
Okay, you're so focused on figuring out if this guy is after tomb stuff or if he's after real kind stuff, because he's not been very helpful. He's not been helpful with anything. You're too busy figuring that out, and you don't notice anything. So yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that roll. So yeah, what do you want to do? How do you want to help this guy out? Because at the moment he's just looking at you and he's just giving you the list, and he's raised an expectant eyebrow at you as if to say, are you going to assist me, or are you just going to stand there and look at my list? He doesn't say that out loud. That's just an expression on his face.
No. No, they're just, yeah, so yeah, they just say, yeah, we have these. Uh, you're after the, just to confirm, I'm pretty sure, but just to confirm, you're not looking for the more toonish kind of these, right? Just more of the regular.
Yes, no, I I really don't need any more Toonish plants. I've had a few run-ins with Toonish plants, and I've had some interesting interesting experiences with those. He mutters under his breath, and
And you're just like, yeah, that's how it goes with them. Yeah. um,
yeah, did you say?
and so
So yeah, that roll there, that was a sleight of hand roll because while Lao and Hickory have been busy talking, Sol has been busy doing a very important job of not touching things. He cannot. He was told that the muttering at the door from Lao to Sol was a very direct not order. What's the word? A very not an order, not a command. What's the word? I've forgotten the word. Rule. That's it. He was given a rule. They were given a rule. Sorry, they are a they, not a he. They were given a rule, and that was not to touch anything. Because typically, what happens when someone touches things, things tend to happen that shouldn't happen. So Sol is very pointedly not touching anything. They didn't say anything about not looking at things. So that first roll was a stealth roll to see if Hickory would notice them sneaking away to the section of flowers that are magical because Sol hasn't seen magical flowers that were grown by the gardener. They haven't seen many magical flowers at all. Usually the magical flowers go poof or get used for something else. They don't usually find stuff that's not made by the gardener. This could be fun. This could be interesting. So they snuck over, and Hickory did not notice. And that second roll was that was a sleight of hand because hey,
oh
you know what?
boy.
You know what? I mean, they're told not to touch any of the flowers. Hey, would these flowers be in perhaps pots or vases? Would you say?
Pots or what?
Pots or vases or vases. I get mixed up between what the two
Yeah,
answers.
no, there are definitely some in that, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that sleight of hand was to
Oh,
see
no.
if they could lift one of the pots because they can't touch the flowers. But they can touch the pots. You can do that. They're allowed to touch the pots. They won't say you can't touch the pots. That's not against the rule. Don't touch the flowers. You can touch the pots. And the thing is, with that 10, that does not beat Lao's passive perception. Would that beat Hickory's passive perception?
Hickory's passive perception is 11, so.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't beat either of theirs. Hey, how many flowers did you say you had against the wall again?
I don't know. I don't know.
So,
There's probably like.
do you want to roll?
There's probably like some.
Do you want to roll a D
I
something and see what flower they pick
okay.
up?
Oh. Okay. Oh boy. Well. Okay. This is specifically for the magical ones, correct?
Yes, because that's what
Okay. Are they the enchanted?
Yeah.
Well, sorry, I didn't hear.
No, sorry. Yeah. So Sol snuck over to the magical ones because they are the most interesting ones. They've seen seen lots of these flowers, and all these flowers are very, very pretty. You don't get to see the magical ones very often. Magical ones are very, very, very interesting. They want to have them.
Okay, so are they the ones that are colored magically, or are they the actually enchanted ones?
I'll leave that up to you.
Okay, I'll roll for both.
Okay, cool. Let's see how
I'll just do a combined Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that's one of the enchanted ones. So, oh boy. Okay, so that's that's one of the flowers that's like it's well, it's not, it can't do anything dangerous.
Okay.
Can't do anything dangerous, so that's good. It's it's a big flower.
Ooh.
Kind of this like glowy bright blue, and it is the little tag by it says that it has a few charges of the spell message in it.
Ooh. Well, that means nothing to Sol, because Sol can't read. Sol's a plant. They don't know how to read. They could potentially learn maybe Braille or sign at some point. But letters and words, apart from their name, probably can't read. So they don't know what the hell this thing is. They just know it's a big pretty plant, and it's shiny, and they pick it up. And hey, guess what? Hickory and Lao both notice this. Lao turns around to Sol, and he shouts at them, "Put that down!" And hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? Hey, guess what?
What?
Hey, they put it down. They put it down with great force. They jump and fling pot into the air, and
Oh no!
it goes. And that's on the other side of the shop. You got a broken pot now. And a broken
Oh no! Can I roll a dex to see if Hickory can catch it?
Yes, please do. Please do.
I'm gonna go with athletics because Hickory's really good at athletics.
Go for it. If you want, you can also. 18!
That's an 18!
Okay. So, with the athletics.
So Hickory sees this starting to fly up into the air, and he just runs. He just darts across the shop and like catches it, like jumps to catch it in midair and like just falls to the ground. But hey, the pot is safe.
Okay, hey. As you run past, imagine you run past Lao, who sort of pinches back in his chair a bit and rolls back a little bit, and maybe bumps into a shelf, and I'm gonna roll something. He bumps into a shelf. That's above his head. I assume I'm gonna take a little liberty here with describing your shop. And I would say he rolls back, bumps into a shelf, one of those hanging shelves. It's got like some pots and plants on the top of it. He rolls back and he bumps into the wall, and it starts to wobble. And I'm going to roll a
no.
Oh, he's got no modifier on that. Oh man. Okay.
Oh no! Oh no! That's a 2.
So what I imagine to happen is Lao flinches back as you rush past him to save the magical flower, rolls back, bumps into the wall rattles, the shelf rattles, and then it just swings on hinges, and the pots they crash down on his head like one after another.
Oh no!
I am going to have to take some bludgeoning damage for that. I can't not. Right, I've got to take something. I would say
Uh,
3D2 for each 3D4. What would you think?
so the pots are falling. Where are the pots falling? Like right on
Falling
his
down
head,
on
or like in
him.
his lap, or?
I would say they're falling on
Uh,
him because he got a 2. He got a 2 in his dex. He did not have time to dodge these things. He's just gone, and they've just fallen on him, on his head, on his lap, just on him. Yeah, I would say 3D4.
Does it be like 3
Or maybe 3D2 because it
3D4?
is still an EPS. EPS? It's still an FPS. I don't want to actually like give him a concussion because he's not.
How about a D2 for a smaller plant and a D4 for a larger one?
Ooh, okay, yeah. So we'll have like 2 smaller because it is a hanging shelf. You can't put a lot of heavy plants on there. So like 2 D2s,
Yeah.
and then a D4. Right, hang on. How do I do these again? Let me do this one. Already.
Oh boy.
Well, that worked. No, okay. So that first one was 1 damage. No, that's not what I wanted to roll. 1 damage again. And then,
Yeah,
he
I'm
takes
pretty
5
sure
damage.
that a D1 will only get you a 1, yeah.
Yeah, a one-sided die's not gonna get you much, folks. I mean, you're not gonna roll low, but you're not gonna roll high. You're gonna get a pretty steady roll there, because it's not gonna fucking roll. Yeah,
You're gonna simultaneously crit fail and
success.
yeah, crit success. That's the word. I was like, the word that was going through my head was win, and I'm like, that's not the one you use. You don't say crit win.
Crit win works though. You can critically win. I mean, in this case, Lao has not critically won. He has had. I will say with those 2 ones. With those ones, he got 2 of the smaller ones on his lap. And one's landed on his lap and shattered. One's landed on his shoulder and shattered. And the big pot, because that was a free. I'm not gonna say it landed directly on his head, but it did brush past. It like brushed past his face and bumped his beak, and then from there it bumped his beak onto his onto the floor and shattered. So now he's covered in dirt. He's covered in dirt. He has like he's got a little dirt and stuff. He's just a mess. And
oh boy, so Hickory hears these things shattering, and then like they instantly hop up to like see. They're expecting it to have been from Sol, but they don't see anything in that area shattered, and then they see Lao covered in like dirt, and they're just like they rush up to him like, "Are you okay?" And kind of like going around like brushing everything off of him and like picking up the shards and like making sure that he didn't get too hurt.
Lao is waving his hand away, and he's like, I'm fine, I'm fine. This isn't the first time I've been covered in dirt, and it won't be the last. It's just, I'm fine, I'm a cleric anyway. I can heal this up. It's fine. And hey, you're busy with helping Lao. So you're just helping like Lao brush the dirt off and stuff, aren't you? Let me check if he's got a spell actually. I didn't have this cantrip. Do you have prestidigitation? Oh no, he doesn't. So yeah, he brushes himself off and he looks at the pots on the floor and he's like, my apologies for breaking your pots and such, but you really shouldn't make people jump like that. If you want, I can fix those. Just hand them over to me very quickly. And he makes a give me motion. The plant pots.
You should. Hickory's just like, no, that's fine. And they take one of the pots and use mending to start fixing it together. That's how you say that.
Yes. At this, Lao raises a brow and he says, all right, well, I was going to do much the same thing. Are you sure you don't want me to help? It's not any trouble. Speaking of trouble, actually, I'm gonna roll.
Oh
I'm
no.
gonna roll. I made a roll earlier.
Oh no.
I will be very surprised if he sees past this. Cause hey, nope, he has a good look around your shop. And do you want to roll perception quick? Or are you just gonna be busy mending?
That's a 5. Hickory
Okay,
is
you're too
having
busy
terrible
mending the
perception today.
Yeah, I mean this has been an eventful time already. You're too busy mending the pots and such. And hey, guess what? Al looks around and he's like, "Oh, bugger. You might want to leave the pot for we might have a problem." Yeah, that's this. And if Hickory puts the pots down or whatever once he's finished, and he stands up and looks around, hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? Sol's gone. Sol's gone.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's not a big shop, but hey.
Yeah. He sees Sol not there and like looks around wildly, like where did they go?
I'm gonna do another roll. Okay. So your passive perception's 11, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you wouldn't notice this, but Lao,
Oh
Lao
boy.
notes this. Lao hears like a little rustling coming from the normal plant space, because I imagine that's more crowded. I imagine that's got a bit more flowers and stuff in it.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
looks over and he narrows his eyes and he says, "Sol, come here now." I'm gonna roll persuasion. Roll persuasion. That's a pretty good persuasion. 18. Now, what would I roll? What would I roll against this? Let me see. I would roll. I'm gonna roll wisdom. I'm gonna roll wisdom because hey, is Sol smart enough
Yeah,
to
I was gonna
realize
say
that
maybe it was
small is small.
That's gonna be hard to beat though.
Let's see. Where are
Maybe.
There you go. Yeah, I think you'd have to. Oh gosh, yeah, he's gonna roll quite high for this. Hey, no. So Lao says, "Come here, Sol, now," and nothing happens. And he sighs, and he's like, they do this when they're in trouble, and they know they're in trouble because they know better to act up when I'm around, don't you?" And it's silent. And now sighs again. "Well, I suppose we should be looking for them before they cause any more trouble. I would suggest a thorough search, because they are sneaky little bugger, despite their size. What side of the room will you take? I'll take the seeds. I'll look over the seeds, and I don't suppose there's any particular area you want to search." I know I just said I'd take the seeds, obviously, but it's up to you.
They say I'll just search over here, and they just go to the nearest section to them, and they'll start going through the store.
Okay.
Oh
So we're just
boy,
into
and
a
they're like
store.
they're looking around like, how does such a big plant hide so well?
let's both roll investigation. So what I imagine happens is
Okay.
we start off at the desk and then we go around to the front of the store because the store is around. This place is round. It's shaped round. And I imagine we can just go
Yeah.
full length around and meet in the middle. And surely we should find them by then, right? You know, like they can't dodge us that way. They can't, right?
unless they're in the middle.
13 and 17.
17.
Right. Let's do this again then. I'm so tempted to do survival for this simply because they know they're in trouble, but I am gonna do a stealth. No! Okay. Okay, so we both go around. I mean, you go over to one side and Lao goes to the other. And what side would you say you go to? Would you go to the side with the seed packets, or would you go to the side with like the big old flower displays?
Well, if I went towards the seed packets, then Hickory's gonna go the other way.
Okay, hey, Hickory.
Yeah.
You notice immediately there is a
Oh,
flower
no.
there that wasn't there before. just like I imagine it's like like bouquets. They're like a bunch of bouquets in those display stands, and there's roses, there's tulips, there's like daffodils, and there's like a couple orchids and some pretty dyed ones, and then standing out just at the top, really tall. Hey, you don't remember growing a huge sunflower, do you? You don't remember growing one of those. And especially just one. You would have them as a bouquet, not as just the one.
Yeah, Hickory first, before noticing the giant sunflowers, just like, they know their shop. They're like, I didn't put this here. Like, where did this come from? And they're just like staring at it, like, huh? And then they then they look up and they see the flower head, and they're like, just sigh. And they're like, hey. And they're just looking directly at that sunflower head, and it's just like, hey.
It doesn't move. You get nothing.
It doesn't move.
It doesn't move. It is stock still. In fact, it's unnaturally stock still because it's an open door and there's a little bit of a breeze going on and there's some rustling. There's like the gentle breeze as like some of the flower petals sway very gently, but this thing doesn't move at all. It is stock still.
How high up is the sunflower?
How tall is Hickory? Is the question here.
Hickory's 5'4".
Okay, so decent, average-ish, real kind sort of height. So Lao is the size. Not Lao, sorry. Sol is the size of a large warhorse. So they will put their neck up as far as they can while looking natural. So I would say you could probably just about reach some of the petals and the head, like just like underneath, but you won't be able to reach the top of it. You'll just be able to reach like the underside of its head.
Just the underside works. They're just gonna poke him.
Oh, okay. Hey, roll me a dex. Roll me a dex save, please.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I forgot I had an alarm. It's fine. This is dex save or dex roll?
Dex save, please. Because as you poke this head.
That's...
All right, that's good. As you poke this
head. That's a 16.
Yeah, that is a good 16. Right. Yeah, you poke the underside of this head. This thing immediately darts its head down to you. And hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? It was behind the stand. You were in front of the stand. It's not behind the stand anymore. It's coming through the stand. It's just you see it flinch back and then charge forward, and That deck save was so you didn't get run down! Because it goes through your stand, not over, straight through, and you hear the clattering place on the floor. Pots have been shattered. The very beautiful display. It was such a beautiful display. Hickory, how much time and effort did you and Nebula put into this display? Hey, guess what? It's on the floor now. It's all shattered. Some of the plants have been trampled a little bit. Just a little bit. And yeah, Sol has bolted. You haven't been hit. You have managed to duck out of the way, but unfortunately you could not save the stand. The stand is gone. And Sol has gone forward. And they see you, and they see Lao, who looks at them from across the room, and he says, Sol, get here now! And I'm going to roll intimidation because he is mad. Sol, I am trying to have a good time out. This is why we don't go places. That's an 11. So Sol still knows they're in trouble, but they're not gonna be swayed by that, buddy. They're not gonna be swayed by that, no. So they know they're in trouble, and they dart their head between Hickory and Lao, and then Hickory and then Lao, and then Hickory then Lao, and then they jolt off again. They go off back towards the magical plants because oh no, they're in trouble, and they're not thinking. They would usually go for the door for this sort of thing, but no, they want to get away, and they want to go to where the nice things are, and that's the magical stuff, and they like magical stuff, and the magical stuff might be able to help them and get out of trouble. And yeah, they're heading towards the magical items again.
Can I make an athletics check to see if he can get there before they do?
Oh, please do.
Because Hickory's gonna see them going towards magical stuff. It's gonna be like, absolutely not, absolutely not.
Yes, please do.
That's a 17.
Do you want me to contest that athletics of my own?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see who can out-athlete the other. I bet you would get something like a nat 1. I bet you, because it's gonna be like that. Oh no, not a nat 1. Close now. No, it's an 11. Never mind. I thought I read that wrong. But yeah, no. Okay. So despite the fact that Sol is bolting towards these magical plants, Hickory, you are fed up. You've had one flower shattered. You've had normal pots on the shelf shattered. You've had a whole display that you and Nebula worked very hard on shattered by this giant creature, and you ain't having it. You jump in front of this stand before it. What do you do? What are you gonna do? Because hey, guess what? This thing's still heading towards you. It's not stopping.
Okay, well now I had to think. Oh man, prestidigitation only makes small illusions. I can't do that.
I mean, you could try and spook it away, maybe?
Yeah, hold up. No, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I think yeah, okay. I think they will use prestidigitation, and they'll make that they'll make a big burst of sparks right in front to just try and spook them away, maybe pretend they're doing something magical kind of thing. Well, I mean they are doing something magical, but something more serious than prestidigitation.
Okay, I'm gonna
just trying to spook them away from that.
I'm gonna roll this. Oh, okay, that was a whiz save. That was to see if they could, that was to see if they had enough sense to turn away. And unfortunately, they look at the sparks, and yeah, it gives them a little, they wiggle a little bit, because oh hey, just see. Let me just see what they're gonna do. They are gonna try. Okay, let's try this. Actually, before they do that, I'm gonna do something for Lao. Because Lao's just been sitting on the other side of the room. I'm gonna roll. This. So Lao, all this time while you have been jumping around trying to stop Sol and cast that little bit of magic at him, Lao has turned around from the seed packets and obviously told him to stop. He's not listened, so he's gonna do what he has to do here, and he's gonna pull his whip out. He has a whip on the side of his on the side of it. Hey, don't worry. He's not gonna be mean. He's gonna roll to hit. Where is that? That's just a straight d20. 12, and then I'll roll a. That's just a straight dex, isn't it? Oh, that's 16. That doesn't hit. So what Lao tries to do, Lao tries to pull out his whip, and he tries to use it like a lasso and wrap it around one of Sol's legs, but Sol, it just misses. It snips out of the way. And Sol's still gonna come at you, and I'm gonna roll them a quick thing. Oh no!
Oh boy.
No! So that was an acrobatics to see if they'd be able to get around you.
Oh boy!
Because they don't actually want to hit you. They just wanna hide and get away and hide behind the stands of the magical plants. And they go to jump over you, but they kind of misjudge their jump, because they're also trying to get away from the sparks in your hands, because they don't know what that magic does, but they kind of don't really want to get too close to it, because so they jump over, but they miss aim and they miss time, and one of their feet slaps you in the face. And,
oh no!
I don't know what you want to say here. I would say maybe Hickory stumbles back, because they've just been slapped in the face by a big old Rudy foot.
Definitely.
Stumbles back, perhaps into the magical display.
Okay, I want to roll to see if, like, anything
topples.
Like, if it just rocks a bit, or if anything actually falls, and I'm not sure what I should roll for that.
Roll a dex save for...
Okay.
A dex save for Hickory, because let's see if they can catch themselves before anything topples. And I should do the same for Sol. They need to do that too.
That's 14.
That's a 16. Okay. Yeah, so the table wobbles. The table wobbles as you back into it, and the plants do that little, that where they sort of do the wing spin as if they're gonna fall over, but then just about sort of rattles and sits properly, and nothing falls over.
Okay.
And Sol, as they jump over to
there's just this, like, big sigh of relief from Hickory that nothing fell. Okay, we're good.
Good. And yeah, Sol has jumped over. They have cleared the table, and they have cleared you while slapping you in the face. And they're gonna turn around, and they're gonna do the thing again. Hey, could you roll me another magical plant, please? Could you roll me a magical plant?
Oh
Guess
boy!
What they're gonna do? They're gonna pick one up.
Right.
And they're gonna throw it at Lao.
Oh, it's the same one. Okay, I'm gonna roll for a different one, because it did the same one.
A 5.
Okay, what's 5? Oh, 5 is another enchanted one. Oh boy.
Okay.
Okay. So, this one's a Venus flytrap.
Dirty 20!
And it, oh no!
That was to hit, by the way.
Oh no! Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, this is a Venus flytrap, and it spits out acid splash.
Every time I play Lao, something bites him or slashes him. This is hilarious. Oh my gosh. Acid 2 again. That was the dodge. And Lao has turned around and he's seen Hickory fall back on the table, and he's seen Sol jump, and he's tried to wheel himself over, and he's tried to say, Sol, get back here, you don't need to, and then he's had this giant Venus plant thrown at him, and I just imagine as this thing's flying, it's like, through the air, his mouth was like, and as it goes flying, would you say it casts acid splash? Just imagine.
What? Sorry. Can you repeat that here?
I just imagine as it's flying through the air, it casts acid splash in midair.
Oh,
So it just
no!
goes,
Oh
that goes
no!
everywhere.
All right, are we making some dex checks?
I mean, I've got a 2. I got a 2.
Okay, I'm gonna. It's going everywhere. I'm gonna see if Hickory can avoid it.
Oh my god.
Oh, what was your dex again? I just rolled.
Oh, it's a 19. Sol's fine. Sol has ducked behind the table. Same rolls. Very nice.
Okay, yeah, no, Hickory is too.
Can I say, actually, Sol's thrown this thing at Lao, and then they've picked Hickory up and put them behind the table as well. Because like, you. So now you're behind the table with Sol. They've got their rooty hands on your shoulder, and they're looking over at Lao, who's now they have a Venus flytrap heading towards him. And this Venus flytrap has cast acid splash. He hasn't dodged the acid splash. Can I also say that this thing comes down on him hard and chomps? Because it's a Venus flytrap.
No.
So hey,
I mean, if you want.
Yeah, I like bullying him. I like bullying Lao. Because sometimes he deserves it.
Oh, boy.
So what would I roll for bite damage? For a Venus flytrap,
It's a.
Let's just say it's a D1. Let's just say it's 1 damage. Save us looking it up.
Yeah, let's just say that.
Also, acid.
You just say it's 1 damage. It's not that big.
Yeah, acid splash has probably done something.
Maybe. I don't know.
Let's just roll a d6 because I don't want to kill him. I actually don't. He's down 5.
Let's go with. Let's go with. Just d.
Okay, yeah.
It's just like.
He's at 12 hit points right now. I'm just gonna roll a d. I'm gonna roll a d6.
Oh boy! Yeah, let's see.
1 damage as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, good! Yay!
I'd say most of the acid splash actually goes on your plants. It goes everywhere. It goes on the ceiling. It goes on the walls.
Oh, of course.
It goes on the floor.
Of course it does.
And you can hear the slight as some of the plants start to get eaten away. You can hear the slight as some of the floor tile gets eaten away, because actually, you know what, with that one, I would say it's not that strong. So the floor should be fine, and some of the plants in here that are
the plants.
The plants, I would say it's up to you if they get super damaged or not, because that is just a 1 for the acid splash. So it might not actually be that much damage. I'm gonna say like a couple of them get like some specks of acid through the petals. And we'll do that. Yeah, and maybe
so rather than have
all of it destroyed. Just some of them start to slightly wilt as
Yeah.
well because of the acid, but it's not as
Yeah.
bad. It's not as bad as it could be, but you know, still damage to property and plants. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And yeah, this thing chomps down on Lao's arm, and you are expecting to hear. I think maybe Hickory is expected to hear a great big shout, but you don't hear anything. And you want to roll? You want to roll quick insight?
What am I rolling?
You can either roll perception or insight. Perception, you'll just get.
I think
reactions.
perception. That is for the wrong bot. That is for the wrong bot.
That is the wrong.
That's what we use for my Pathfinder server.
15. Okay.
15.
So yeah, with the perception, you're still being held by the shoulders by Sol, who is looking over at Lao. And if you're also gonna look over, maybe like peek from behind the table, you see this thing is just going to town on Lao, but it's biting. It's not biting on his arms. It's biting at his blanket, and Lao's just sort of like his hands are his hands are crossed in front of his beak, and he's looking down at this thing as it starts to chew on the blanket, and presumably what's underneath the blanket. And he, I'm gonna roll. What would you say? Would you argue animal handling this thing, or nature? Do you think nature to handle this thing?
You know,
Because I would say it's nature because it's
fun thing is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll go in nature. The funny thing is that I was gonna ask a similar question to see if speak with animals would work with Sol.
You can try it. You can try it and see what happens. Oh,
but I'll do that. I'll do that after.
Or you can do it
after this.
You can do it now, and I'll just while you're typing, I'll just describe what Lao does. So while Hickory is doing you see Lao pick this thing up. Like you see this guy knows. You look over, and this guy knows what he's doing. This guy knows what he's doing with these plants, like clearly, because the way he's handling this, he has like gripped it behind the head and done a little like a tweak, and this thing has immediately let go and gone still. And he picks it up, and he picks up the pot that he was in, because the pot's fine. It landed on his lap, so the pot's not shattered. But he's gripped it underneath the head and the pot, and he puts the pot on his lap. He's got one hand underneath the head, and he starts wheeling very slowly over to you. And he very gently puts the pot back on the table. That's what he's doing while you're doing whatever.
Okay, at least here's like okay, he's good. We're good here. So they're gonna focus back on Sol.
Okay.
I don't see like anything I have to roll.
No.
It's just like you gain the ability to comprehend.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, you just cast it.
Just cast it.
So yeah, speak with animals to gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with beasts for the duration. Hey, wait, hold up. It kicked me out of the thing while I was reading it.
That's okay.
Because I tried to press.
Don't worry about the description, because I will tell you right now.
Okay.
When Hickory casts Speak with Animals, what does Hickory say? Like, what does Hickory say to them?
Oh boy. I had to think. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what exactly he'd say.
Well, if you
I know that he's.
If you don't good. You can
He's
just say
like-
the gist of it. Just get across what he's trying to get. Like,
Yeah, he's like trying to get them to calm down. Can I make a persuasion check to like try and
you
get
can.
them to calm down, or would that?
Yeah, you can do. But I will tell you while you roll the persuasion. Go ahead and roll persuasion. I will tell you. You can't speak with animals, and you start talking to Sol, to this giant creature, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Because I really hate to tell you this, buddy, but even though they act like a very big, large horse and dog, and what some strange pet creature, they aren't an animal. They are in fact still a plant. So you can't speak with animals. And
Yeah, that was a gamble.
Yeah,
That was a
You did
gamble.
try. I give you credit for trying. Thank you for trying, and now you know. Oh,
That's a 27.
That's a 27.
That is a
You're-
27 for
Damn.
persuasion.
That's really good.
Hickory's really good at persuading.
Man, you have a way with plants. Like Hickory, you are in the right
Yes.
profession, man, because Soul doesn't know what you're saying, but you're being very calm and you're being very nice and you're holding. I don't know if you're holding out your hands or if you're doing any gestures, but you're being very nice and you're not shouting and you're not pointing and you're not being aggressive in your mannerisms. So they sort of loosen their hold on your shoulders and they reach their hands up and they hey Hickory, what kind of toon is Hickory, by the way? Like what do they look like?
Hickory's a dog.
Dog. Okay.
Specifically a Carolina dog, also known as an American dingo.
Nice.
But yeah, Hickory's a dog.
Cool. Okay. Hey, guess what? Hey, guess what? You're being really,
Oh,
really
no.
nice to this plant, and this plant has met dogs before, and they know what dogs like. Dogs like pets. And hey, guess what? You're being nice to the plant. The plant's going to be nice to the dog that's being nice to the plant, and the plant is going to pet the dog. The plant is going to pet the dog because that's what you do with dogs. You pet them and you like it. That's what you do. So hey,
Oh
do you
my
want me to
goodness.
roll to pet, or do you want me to just do
Sure.
it?
Roll the pet.
What would I roll for this? Animal? Should I roll animal handling? Should I roll animal?
Yeah. Yes, roll animal handling.
Oh god! How poorly is this gonna go? Not that poorly.
Okay, 12's not bad.
So yeah, describe Hickory's reaction to being petted, because they're not doing a bad job at petting, but you know, you're being petted.
Hickory was not expecting this. Hickory's experience with this plant is that it is okay. On second thought, maybe Hickory should have expected this, because Hickory's experience with this plant is that it likes to touch things.
It does. It is very tactile.
So he just kind of blinks like, what? But like he lets it happen because it's not hurting him, and like we're trying to keep this thing calm right now. The funny thing is, like, he was actually gonna he was gonna start petting Sol.
Pet to pet connection.
He was gonna. I already had in mind that he was gonna start petting Sol before Sol started petting him.
Oh my gosh. So the dog is being pet and Sol is being pet. Sorry, someone's come into the room. There's been a noise there. So to repeat myself, the dog Hickory is being pet. The plant Sol is also being pet. There's a pet to pet connection going on right here, fellas. Everyone is being petted, and it's all good. And while this is going on, sorry, this is very Sol and Hickory focused, but Lao is actually still here. Surprisingly, he's still here. He's a bit covered. He's covered in dirt still, and he's got some nicks and stuff. He's you know, he's been hit by like pots and plants, and he's been bitten, man. Like he's been through a little bit. He's on about 11 HP right now. But don't worry about it.
Oh boy.
I mean, this is 11 out of 18. He's a cleric. He's not got much, and he's also level 3. I mean, and he's not got armor, so you know. Yeah, he's while you two are having a pet fest, he is just going around. He has been trying to mend any of the plants or the displays he can. He's rolled over to the display from earlier, and he's just been picking up vases and mending them, and he's been picking up the actual display and trying to mend that together. But mending can only do so much, really. And I would say the display is back together, but it's wobbly. It's like a wobbly. It's like you put a table back together and you put 4 different legs on it. It's that kind of wobbly. And there's no saving the plants. Mending won't save plants because they're living creatures. You can't. There's no hope there. There's no hope there. Some of those bouquets are just destroyed. Somehow the ceiling plants have survived, apart from like a couple acid splashes maybe on the pots and such, or the baskets hanging up. But that's fine. That's fine. And once he's done with that, he's gonna very slowly roll over to the seed section, and he's just gonna sit there, and he's gonna put a hand on his beak, and he's just gonna like pinch his beak and sigh, and that's all he's gonna do. That's all he's gonna do.
But what was that roll for?
Oh, your perception. Hey, yeah, your perception. You'll notice this, wouldn't you? So yeah, while you notice this, I'm just gonna say you notice this because I'm not gonna make you roll for this. I mean, you are petting Sol, but it's pretty. Lao's not being sneaky about this. So while you're looking at Lao, you feel something pop onto your head, and Sol retracts their hands away and tilts the head at you. They tilt it from one side to the other side, from one side to the other side, and the petals do a little swish as they do it. It's like the little swift swish as it goes from side to side. And hey, you've got something on your head now.
So okay. So Sol put something on their head then.
Sol's put something on your head.
Okay. Well, they reach up to see what it is.
Yeah, you reach up, you take a hold of it. It's and you put it down. Hey, guess what? It's a daisy. Sol has a daisy in your hair. And they look at you, and they do the little head shake from side to side, from side to side, from side to side. And they're just sitting there.
Well, that's getting a soft smile from Hickory. And they pat them, and they're just like, thank you.
That gets a wiggle. You get like a whole body wiggle. Like as you pet them, you get like a wiggle that starts from the head and goes down to the neck and then through their body and then shakes out to their legs, and there's like a bud. I forget to mention this, but there's a bud on their tail, and that starts to vibrate a lot, and then you hear a and more daisies start to sprout from their tail. They are vibrating. They are very happy.
Oh, that's adorable. Oh my goodness.
Meanwhile,
I have to recover from the cuteness.
While you recover from your cuteness. Sorry, my I've just had food dropped in, so you're hearing a bit of munching. Don't worry, I'll put this away. While that's going on, Lao let out a sigh, pulled his head out from his hands, and is now looking at the packets of seeds on the walls, and he's just pulling one off at a time. He's pulling off what he can reach. I'd say like would you say it's organized like alphabetically, or is it by plant species? How would you say it's all organized?
I think first it's organized by type and then by like he's probably got like some vegetable seeds and such, so it's probably like organized by like vegetables, herbs,
sort of thing.
ornamental flowers, and then within those groups, then it's alphabetical.
Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, so yeah, he's like reaching for like the rosemary and fennel seeds and such, and he's looking at he's just about able to reach the white poppy, and he's looking at the dandelion and daisy seeds, and he is sitting there, and can I say that they are too high up for him to reach because of how many seeds you've got?
Sure.
And he is sitting down.
Sure.
So he's just looking up at them and he sighs.
Okay. Well. Yeah.
He's very pointedly not looking back at you two, by the way. He's not looked at you at all.
I'm gonna roll a perception check.
Okay.
To see if Hickory notices this.
Okay.
Because he was just given a flower by a giant flower creature that is wiggling and has he's a bit distracted, so I'm gonna roll a perception check.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, that is a +1, not a +2. That's a 10. Solidly in the middle.
I would say you notice him cleaning up, but like you don't really notice him actively avoiding you. You just know he's been cleaning up and now he's on the other side of the room looking at the seeds.
Okay.
You would just notice he's now just sitting there looking up at some seeds that look to be out of his reach.
Okay. So Hickory's gonna look over there and look back at Sol. Look over there and look back at Sol, trying to figure out like if he leaves Sol or if like Sol moves along with him, like how much damage might there be? But also this person might need help. He's like
you can roll, I would say, you can roll insight to see what Sol would do, or you can roll actually you got really high persuasion, didn't you? You got really high persuasion. So just roll me insight to see what you think Sol will do. So this is just to see if we can figure out how Sol's going to think about this. Okay.
It's another 10.
So you think you're friends now. You don't know exactly what that means. You know they're not going to freak out or anything. You don't know if they'll follow you, or you don't know if they're just going to go off on their own again. You have no idea. You don't know this thing well enough to know what it's going to do. But yeah, you know it's calm now, and you know it's staring you, and it's friend. You know it's a friend, but you don't know what it would do if you were to leave.
Very silent for a while, just like thinking on what to do.
Okay. Whilst you're thinking,
man, the magical. Okay, the.
I was gonna say, whilst Hickory is thinking, Lao's gonna allow a sigh again, another big sigh, because it's just been one of those days. And he's gonna turn his head around to look at Hickory, and he's gonna say, I don't suppose I could have some help, please. I'm not gonna make you roll perception. He just sounds very done already. It sounds like he's had a very...
That's a 15.
15. Oh, was that for perception?
Yeah.
Oh, I said you didn't have to, but okay, yeah. You can see.
Oh, I thought you said 2.
Sorry.
Okay.
No, sorry, that's my bad. Anyway, with that perception, you can tell he's had a long day. Like you can tell this with that perception, you can tell this is just kind of sort of a thing he might usually deal with. I'm going to treat this perception as an insight. Peck it. You can tell with that. You can tell this has been a long day for him already.
Yeah.
You get the impression maybe he's used to this sort of thing happening, but still eventful, and he's very tired, and he would like some help, please.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's just like, yeah, I'll be right there. Just like looking back between Lao and Sol again, and he looks at Sol, and I'm gonna make another persuasion check. He's just like, stay. Just like not aggressively or anything, but just like, stay.
I'll tell you what. With that last persuasion, you don't have to roll because you rolled really high with that.
Okay.
With that last persuasion, I'll just say you say stay, and Sol looks at you.
Okay.
And then they're just gonna onto their hinds. So now they're just sitting. They're sitting on the rump, and they got their root legs their back root legs are just splayed out in like a V, and their front root legs are sitting in front of them, and their heads just looking down at you, and they just cock their head to the side. And if Hickory leaves, they're just gonna tilt their head and watch you go, and they're just gonna sit there with their tail wiggling.
Oh, yeah. Hickory smiles at this, and they're just like, thank you. I'll be right back. Okay, I'll be right back. And then they go to help Lao, and they saw where he was looking up before, and they remember what was on the list. Actually, I'm gonna roll history to see if they remember what was on the list after all that.
Yeah, you can if you want. Yeah, you.
14. Okay, yeah, they remember what was on the list, and they take those two down for him. And they just sigh looking back at the ruin of their shop.
To be fair,
just like,
it's not as bad as it was earlier. There's a lot of dirt
that's
everywhere,
true.
And the stand rickety.
They're just like, thanks for the help fixing things up. They look back at Sol with like their hand like running over their head, fiddling with one of their ears, just like, what am I going to do?
Lao looks at you. Lao looks at Hickory and says, Don't thank me for something that I should have prevented in the first place. I knew taking them out of me was going to be a risk, because it always is, and I know they sometimes get a little excitable. And he looks over at Sol, gives them a very stern look, and they just look back, wiggling. They're unfazed because they're calm now. They're not scared anymore. They're just sitting and being happy. And Lao looks back to Hickory and says, I apologize for the trouble we've caused. I really should have known better than to let them in the shop, honestly. I think it would have been better if they just stayed outside, but then if they stayed outside, they'd run off, and then probably something worse would have happened. And he's just sort of going off on a little ramble about it.
I'm just thinking, Hickory, okay. Okay. Hickory's looking at like a sign that's like that basically says, if you break it, you buy it, and he looks at Lao and how done Lao looks, and he's just like,
roll perception if he notices this?
Yeah, do it.
Oh man, I know what I'm gonna do if he does.
It's like, yeah. Perception.
13. So I would say it takes.
Yeah, I think that's enough to notice. Yeah.
He's off on his rant.
Maybe
He's going off on his little ramble a little bit, so it will take him a little bit. longer, and his gaze is like going around the room as he's talking to you, and then his eyes look at the sign. I imagine it is like a little placard on the desk, or placard, and it's just like one of those little T-shaped placards, not T-shaped, V-shaped, and it just says, "You break it, you buy it." And he looks at it and he stops, and he turns back to you. He says, he gives you a very nervous smile. Actually, you know what? No, hang on. I'm gonna roll for this, because this man is just like this. Oh, okay. Do you want to roll contesting
boy.
insight?
What should I roll?
Insight.
Insight. Let me look back. I should remember that all of these are +1. That's a 3.
That's a 3. You don't know it is. Okay, so he looks back at you like cool as cucumbers, and he looks at you and says, "So I know usually we would have to pay for the damages that we've caused today. However, I did fix most, if not all, of the damages caused today. I fixed most of the vases. I fixed your table. No harm has come to any of the more delicate ones," he says, blatantly ignoring the acid splattered plants. And he says, "I don't suppose we could come to another arrangement in terms of payment." And should I roll persuasion here?
You know, I don't think you have to, because like
Okay.
Hickory is already looking at like how done Lao looks, and he was already planning on he did fix the stuff, and he was already planning on at the very least not having him pay like nearly the full price, but there has still been some damages, so he's willing to listen.
Okay.
You don't need a roll persuasion.
Cool. Okay. So Lao says, "All right. How about this place is unfortunately rather dirty still." And he looks blatantly at the dirt on the floor, and some of the knocked over stuff from earlier. He's done his best, but it looks like this place needs a good clean sweep. And he says, "How about I leave that one?" And he points to Sol outside, and he points to the door, "and make sure that they stay there, and I'll help you clean the shop, and that will be us squared. Would you say that's agreeable?"
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Okay. He holds out a hand to shake.
And yes. And Hickory, after a handshake, Hickory holds up finger like wait, and goes back to Sol, and it's just kind of gestures them over, but also like saying careful, be careful, come here, and it's just trying to lead them out the door, because from their experience, they have had a much better time calming Sol down than Lao has. So they're trusting themselves more than they trust Lao for getting Sol out of here.
That's fair. That's very fair. Lao has not shown himself to be competent in taking care of this guy, of this plant. And so I'm not gonna roll Dex, because we're coming up to almost hour and a half right now. So I'm not gonna roll Dex to get them around the table.
Yeah.
They go. I will roll Dex to get out the door, because that's unavoidable. They are very large. Oh, it's an 8. Okay. So I'm gonna say happens is they get their front out again, and they get out again, and they get their front bit out again, and they go to push their back, and they wiggle, and they wiggle a bit more, and they're a little bit stuck. Yeah. Have you seen? I don't know. This might just be for me, but have you seen an episode? Have you ever watched any of the old Winnie the Pooh sort of episodes?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know,
Yeah,
the one where
yeah, I
he
have.
gets
I know what
stuck
you're
in
talking
Rabbit's
about.
hole.
Yeah.
That basically. You've got a big old
Um.
you got a big old plant stuck in your
Should.
friggin' shop now. I'm sorry. He's just rear end first in your shop. And
Uh.
Lao's gonna
All
look at
right. Should we
this.
make
Should we both
make a
should we
strength check to
yes,
see if we can push
yes.
them through?
Lao's gonna roll up, he's gonna
Oh
sigh and he's
man.
gonna look at Sol and he's gonna say, well, what am I going to do with you? And he rolls over and he has no modifier to this because he is an absolute winky man. 9 is an 8.
Neither of them.
I'm gonna
That's
say
an.
I'm gonna say it takes some good pushing. It takes a good push. Like we have to like you have to like. I'm gonna say it takes like a ram. So we try to push first and then nothing. Like there's no budging. And Lao sighs and then he's like, just hang on just a second. And he rolls back. He rolls backwards and he rolls right up until he bumps into the desk again, like a gentle bump this time. And then he looks back at Sol, he looks back at you, and he says, you might want to just step aside a bit. And then he just whizzes himself forward, and as he's getting closer to Sol, he holds his hands out, and poof, he pops Sol out of the room, and Sol just goes tumbling down, and poof, lands face first in the dirt. Sits up, shakes their head, looks back at you, wiggles their tail, and they're fine. They're fine. Yes.
Oh, I love them.
So, because it's getting close to the end, I think maybe we should wrap it up a little, unless there's anything you wanted to do specifically.
I'm gonna do one more thing.
Okay.
Once I find, where did I put it? Oh, there it is. I am going to cast a spell to heal Lao.
Oh.
And Hickory only has, that is, my computer yelled at me. Hickory only has one spell that is not temporary hit points, and he doesn't want to do temporary hit points because he doesn't want Loud just. He's trying to heal him, not to just get him through. So that will be life transference. That's a lot. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
So
That's more HP
so
than
Hickory.
he has. He only got 80 HP. So you give him some of your energy and then some.
And then some even more because okay, so this is life transference. This is you take 48 necrotic damage, and one creature of your choice that you can see within range regains a number of hit points equal to twice the damage that you take.
Oh my god!
So that's 42 damage.
What the fuck?
So Lala's feeling really great right now. Hickory.
I'm rolling in.
Hickory winces.
Should I roll perception or insight? Is
yeah, you can roll perception. Hickory Hickory casts a spell and like winces as they do because that hurts. That's 21 points of damage.
Yes.
But they're fine. They have they have a lot of damage. They have a lot of health.
Okay.
This is less than half of their health.
Oh, damn.
This is their health. Look, they have 74. That's their max HP. They're good. They're fine.
Okay, are they gonna hide the fact that they are
hurt? They'll try to.
Okay, roll deception.
I'll actually probably make a.
To contest it.
Yeah, I'll make a stealth check.
No, deception it would be.
Right. Just perception for.
No, deception for you it would be.
Deception.
Yeah, deception.
Oh, I thought you said perception. Well. Deception. They've got a better modifier for deception, so I'll take that.
18.
That's an 18.
Oh, Lao, you're gonna have to do well, mate. You're gonna have to do well. I bet you're not, because you're a dummy. Oh! Yes, you are! 21, baby! Okay, So Lao immediately not immediately, he feels a lot better and he just sort of sits there and is like, this feels really, this is very odd. I feel really good. And then he looks over at you and he can see you're trying to hide it, but he does notice you wince. And then he frowns and he's like, what did you do? I don't think that particular spell.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine. Come here.
It's fine. No, it's
Come
fine.
here. He's gonna roll intimidation to try and get you to come over. That's a
14. Their ears are back a little, but they do come forward. They're like, okay. They're a little embarrassed. They're a little like, because that was intimidation, right?
Yes.
They're a little like, a little spooked, a little bit.
Okay.
So they come forward. What's the word? I forget the word. Not shy, but like
hesitantly.
Abashed.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna
something like that. Just like.
Okay, so as you come forward, Lao is going to reach underneath his blanket, and he's going to pull out a Mysterious potion, which heals you for 1d10 per dose, and he's going to say, take a couple of sips of this, and see how you feel afterwards. So yeah, roll me 2d10, please.
Oh man, they're just like.
You're being bullied into self-care.
It's okay. Man. It's okay. It's okay. You don't. It's okay. I'm fine.
Do not make me make you drink this. I can.
Okay. I'll drink it. Okay. So that's 2d10.
2d10. Please don't get 2 nat ones. Okay, good.
That's 11.
So
that's more than a little more than half of what they did.
Yeah, that's so you heal a little bit. You feel like a little bit tired, but you're better than you were. I've got to change that now.
Yeah. They're just okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. I understand why you're trying to hide your hurt, but it doesn't help anyone when you hide when you're hurt. It's better to look for the help when you need it. And speaking of help, he claps his hands and he looks around. Once we're done here, I'll help you clean up, and then you should be off to bed. And he's just going to turn around and he's going to ask, right, where's the cleaning equipment? We've got to get started. It's starting to get closer to lunchtime. And yeah, just by the way, guys, this has all happened about midday. This has all happened. How long would you say this has taken? Like, would you say this has happened in the space of like half an hour? Maybe even like not an hour, like 15, 20 minutes, I would say.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So much has happened within 20 minutes. But yeah, because we're getting quite far over the time right now. So, do you? Other than that, is there anything you wanted to do?
No, I think we're good here.
Okay, cool. So, I'm gonna close this up by saying then, Hickory finds the cleaning equipment and gives them to Lao, and they just start sweeping up the shop, cleaning the counter and making sure everything's in slightly better shape. And that'll take about. There's a lot of dirt and stuff around because we did knock a lot of stuff over, so it takes about hour and a half maybe. And by the time they're done,
yeah, that works.
Yeah, by the time they're done, Lao pays for his purchase, pays for his items. He waves and a goodbye, gives another sigh, and makes his way out of the front door. And as he goes, you hear the little cling of the bell as he goes. You didn't hear it with Sol because his whole body was just blocking the way, and the bell couldn't ring. That's what I'm going with. But yeah, as Lao leaves, you hear the cling of the bell as you go, and yeah, they leave. They leave your shop.
And then I'm gonna add like a little
Okay,
a little
you want to do
post
a little extra
thing
bit, yeah,
of
go for it.
just like uh I don't know, like couple I don't know when does I'll just say around closing time.
Yes.
A little before closing time, Nebula comes in. He doesn't like everything's been cleaned up, so nothing immediately pops out to him, but he sees like Hickory just exhausted at the desk, and he's just like, "Are you all right?" And then Hickory looks up, and then screen fades to black. Just
Well, I guess that's where we end it then. With Hickory just done for
all
the
right.
day.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh,
That was good.
that was fun.
That was amazingly
Thank you all for
chaotic.
listening.
Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you for playing. This is very fun.
This is so good, Arrows. This is so good. We can try again. Goodbye. Let me pause.